Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Hello.
Hello, Talib. This one. We'll go back and push them out.
We're not sitting here.
Huh?
Here.
Yeah. There's no window. Yeah.
Hey Talib, you okay? How are you? Are you good? Morning. Hello. Do you want to talk? How are you? Do you want to talk about
Okay. See you in a bit.
Just put me back into the prison cell room. That day after being out being pretty for us. I hate this room, man. It's like a little prison. Quite literally a little prison room. Look at this, man. This reminds me of a prison. Look at how it's not a prison, they've got bars everywhere. They've got cameras, security cameras. Can you see that security camera? How much security is that? Security cameras. Just a glorified prison, isn't it? So right now they're having a meeting discussing their agenda, and they're going to tell us. They're not interested in our input. They're going to go in and tell us what they've decided, without any recourse for our input. It's just a facade. They create these MDT meetings in order to because the authorities, the local authority and the central authority, tell them this is what how they should be doing things, and they just make a mockery of it by conniving and conspiring beforehand. There's a meeting, it's 11 o'clock. We're here at 11 o'clock. We should be stuck at this meeting. There's a multidisciplinary meeting going on right now between all the professions while they arrange the agenda, what they're going to all say, all speaking from the same script sheet, all speaking from the same hymn sheet. And then what they're going to do is we're going to be called in, and they're going to dictate to us what they've decided, and tell us what our views are, and tell us to come on to their line of thinking, because they believe, because they are professionals, they are acting in Talib's best interest. So that's how these MDT meetings really work. And there's a difference between the rhetoric of how they should be working and the reality of how things actually work. So the rhetoric should be that Talib should be at the center of all this. If there's been discussions about Talib being taking place, Talib should be there, able to speak up and voice his opinions, and make it should be customer service centered, i.e. patient centered. So the patient is the center of all discussions, and it should be looking into his best interest, and these people should be, and these professionals, quote unquote professionals, should be there just to provide a service as best as they can with limited resources and being open and transparent. Well, the reality is very different. The reality is one where all the professions collect and collude and conspire to set forward an agenda that suits their purposes, that benefits them over and above what benefits Talib. Talib sat there, I don't know if you can see, but he sat there with his tasbih. Yeah, you see he's holding his tasbih. This is what Talib is doing. And I'm the one that have given him his tasbih. I have not prompted him to take out his tasbih. He always likes to pray, so he's very nervous, and he likes to pray on his tasbih. His tasbih is not being given to him while he was young.
It's in there. Which one are you coming from? Okay, make sure you bring it back. Yeah. Whatever you take, make sure you bring it back. Hello. Okay. We're ready for you.
Okay, all right.
Just to remind you, make sure that you're not recording anything.
Okay, all right. Okay.
If at any point we
discover
that you're recording anything, then you'll be asked to leave.
Okay, all right. That's fair enough.
Yeah?
Can I get a glass of water?
No, everyone's saying you need to find someone.
Bring something. So I
no problem. There's not enough staff. There's not enough staff.
Yeah.
There's not enough staff.
Lottie, can you do me a favor? Can you just have a some water? Some water? Yeah, please.
Oh, Talib. How are you? You okay? Good man.
Oh, is that purple shirt?
Norman's.
Hello. Sit here?
I'll just get you the water here.
I prefer to sit here.
Tonight, open the door.
Right.
Do you want me to come sit there? You want to sit here?
And I'm okay here.
Are you sure? Talib is just at the door.
No, it'll be okay.
Yeah. How's the things?
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
Do you want some water?
It's again full house and 3 new faces.
Yeah, I've not really met the new faces. Can you just introduce
Go on
yourself?
then.
Medical students, I'm Hassan.
Pardon?
Hassan, medical student.
Medical student.
He's a medical student as well.
Okay. Yes.
This one guy in Bagnet.
Yep.
Seen it, Dr. Jones?
I'm one of the doctors.
Oh, you're the doctor, yes?
I'm one of the ward doctors.
Ward doctors, okay, all right.
Again, several stuckness.
Doctors, okay.
Again, you're not reporting anything, she's had it.
No,
Definitely.
okay.
Yeah. How was the last couple of weeks?
Yes, it's been fine. I mean, I think some of the issues that we had over the festive period was that he had some incontinent issues. Those are more stabilised now. But he's not having regular bowel movements as he should be. I think he's just going through another phase of constipation, and then we're going to have a overflow. But obviously he's self-conscious of his own diet, and he's obviously saying that he wants to needs assistance in maintaining a proper diet, healthy diet. He himself is saying that I don't want to eat certain foods because I'm worried that I might become bunged up again. So he's actively, unfortunately, I think the choices that he's making are not the correct ones. Because he says, I don't want to eat chapatis and stuff, but I want to eat chips because that will help me. I did try to tell him that he needs more fibre. But I think he just lacks information, you see, and I'm there to tell him what obviously he's going to need a lot of fruit and vegetable and stuff, and also I'm actively trying to discourage him from what Talib enjoys. I'm sure you know is that he likes having Coke, which is very, very bad for his teeth and hair care and stuff. So I'm just trying to wean him off like fizzy drinks. And I think that would just help him stabilize his metabolism, and so I think that's a high priority. With regards to his mental health and state, he's been actively taking his medication, and there's no issue with his mental state.
Have to give the medication?
Yes. I mean, most of the time he prompts me himself because I'm sometimes forgetful, but he's very conscious himself of taking the medication, and obviously the reason I give him the medication because I have a means of recording when he's taking the medication, whereas if he's taking himself, I'm not really sure if he's taking it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I've got a couple of people's apologies who were supposed to come but didn't make it.
Okay.
One is Lorna with the OT. I think
Yes.
she mentioned to you about that she could not make it. The OT was here last time.
Well, she's not mentioned it to me. I mean, the last time I spoke to her, she was putting together some sort of.
She's left a copy for you as well. I think Lorna's left a copy for the assessment she's done for Shazam, because I think she got left a copy. And she's emailed us in the morning as well. We'll give you the
Yes. Okay. All right. No problem.
we also had Vicina, who's our deputy team leader, who's supposed to come as well.
Yes.
She's off sick, so she couldn't come. We've got Valley and Sunday. Have you met Valley before?
Yes. He came to my house. Yes. Did you also not ask for Nadia Khan to come?
We did ask her, but she was not free today.
Well, I mean.
Nadia and Vicina work in similar.
Yes, but I understand. I mean, I think I think the most crucial people, as you can appreciate, because all yourself are healthcare professionals, and as far as your position is concerned, that since Talib has been here, you've you can do your job is you're not here to long-term sustain Talib in this institution, or you're a hospital. People come here to get well and go back, and ideally it's that point. That way, I'm struggling. We need their involvement because.
I was disappointed as well that they couldn't come, and that's why I had to apologise to you.
But
I'm hoping they'll come.
But well, doctor. I mean, the thing is, I'm very disappointed myself because obviously, as you know, I've emailed yourself several. Have you not received any of my emails? Oh, okay, all right. I'm sure I've emailed yourself, but I've also, in the meantime, emailed Nadia Khan since last week, because what I didn't want to do is I didn't want to come to this meeting and discuss issues that are not health related, because obviously I know your time is kind of like important to deal with health issues, and those are more social care issues, and those could ideally be dealt with through a one-to-one meeting with Nadia, and so that's what I've been proactively been doing since last week.
And I think we can try to arrange that, isn't it? That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
We could try and arrange that out of the
Yes.
arena.
I think so.
With Vicina.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, like I said,
Vicina and
and or Nadia.
Well, I mean, I would rather like to deal with Nadia because Vasina's only come on the scene since I believe.
Nadia's job description has changed, that's why she's left the team.
Pardon?
Nadia's job description has changed and she's left the team and Vasina has taken her position.
Well, what position does Nadia have? What position did she have?
She's been seconded now, service manager.
So she's a service manager here, though, in the city mental health team. She's
no,
taken.
No. So no. She's not. So vice senior. Nadia's been taken up, done as a comment to another post. So vice
What's the other
steps
post?
to the
What's the other post?
The one that I've just told you, service manager.
But wasn't that the post that Mark Truin had?
That's right.
So she's.
If you recall last week when we mentioned Mark Truin's been seconded out of the trust to work out.
Yes.
So Nadia's been seconded into his post.
My understanding was that Mark Truin's post and Nadia Khan's present post is a more senior post. She's in charge of Vicina Brown. Is that not correct?
Nadia is. Yes, she is.
Yeah. So like I said, I would rather like to speak to the decision makers rather than somebody else.
Yeah, we take on board what you're saying about acknowledging that, and that's why we were saying that out of this arena we can try and facilitate that.
Yeah. I think that
as soon as Vicina comes back, because she'll have direct contact with Nadia as well.
Yeah.
When she's back to work off leave, then I can have that conversation with Vicina.
Yeah. Okay.
And try and arrange something that's convenient for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good way to proceed forward because obviously, as you know, Doctor, this is one of the reasons I'm slightly hesitant because there's no issues with Talib. I think what I discussed with Mr. Fungi was I had 4 points that that are on my agenda, and I'm quite happy to listen to what you have on your agenda. But I think, from my understanding, if it's clear that you're quite happy in a position to discharge Talib now. Talib, if you.
Well, if you have got a proper care plan.
Yeah. I mean.
In the community, because I can't attend today.
Yeah. Yes.
Care plan
And
that's the whole thing.
and
People are telling me discharge.
Yes.
But I
Yeah.
have to put myself down. That's why I'm doing it.
Well, thank you, Doctor. I mean, I'm happy that you're in that position as well because I share your concerns.
But I think that you think you can include them to
I think part of the issues is what we try to cover when we tend up about looking at these needs.
Yes.
And I think we need to round that off.
Yes.
And then determine from your perspective what it is that you can provide.
Yeah.
And then from our side, what it is that we can provide. And that way we can have this care package in place. Like you said before, at times we don't feel that it's appropriate. But then again, if it's in place, then you can choose not to accept it or accept it.
You need to do an assessment, though.
So that means that,
I mean, the first thing on my agenda, all right, as I told you, I've got a 4-point agenda. The first thing on my agenda was his needs assessment. That's the primary thing. Yeah. Yes. So that is the primary thing, his needs assessment. I think.
We're all in agreement.
Yeah. Okay. My second point on my agenda is his mental capacity. Okay. I think there's been issues about Talib's mental capacity. And I think we had this discussion as well. That is not a decision, or that's not a conclusion that can be drawn with Vicina or Nadia. That is a decision that yourself as healthcare professionals will have to make regarding Talib's mental capacity. I personally, and I've been quite vocal on this, that I do not believe that Talib lacks mental capacity. I know there's been some issue. We had this discussion last time about, well, it doesn't work like that. It's on a need basis. Well, I disagree with you. My understanding of the Mental Health Act is that first the question needs to be asked: does a person have mental capacity? Or if he doesn't, the assumption being that everybody has mental capacity, unless it can be proven otherwise. And even when it has been proven, well, let's just say that he doesn't have mental capacity. Then even then, it's supposed to be the most limited form of assessment, saying, well, exactly what does he lack in mental capacity, and what does he still retain in his mental capacity. And even when you've identified that this person lacks a particular area of mental capacity, you need to identify, is that long term, short term, and the focus is always being to trying to restore that mental capacity. So that's another issue that obviously I would like to have a discussion with yourself. That's been the second point. The third point being regarding, I think we've discussed regarding his data. I in my capacity as his carer, to feel it's very important for anybody who's vulnerable to be able to exercise his rights to protect and procure his own data, just like anybody else would do. And so obviously that is a discussion I'm having with the senior members of the staff. I don't think that's something that's going to be appropriately discussed here. And finally is with regards to his finances, because obviously while he's being in my care, there's been obviously he's not having access to his own money, and he's requested that. Yes. Okay, all right. But with regards to the mental capacity, I mean, obviously, like I said, I'm quite happy to engage with yourself and discuss his needs assessment. But with regards to the mental capacity issue, obviously I believe that Talib has always retained mental capacity. He does have mental health issues, but just like somebody with Tourette's you would not classify that person as lacking mental capacity. So similarly, he has audio hallucinations as part of his condition of schizophrenia, but he has complete capacity to be able to make decisions for himself.
We talked about this last time,
Yep.
remember,
Mhm.
weeks ago,
Mhm.
and we all agreed that the capacity is something which again fluctuates, depending on what the focus is, depending upon what circumstances are, depending on how much time we are giving Talib. So,
Well,
we never said Talib does not have capacity. So when we said, when he was not able to make decisions about where he wanted to live, especially when he was in prison,
yes.
he was not able to make a decision at that time where he wanted to live. And that was
But do you feel that he lacked capacity?
No, and then when he gave him the time to think about where would he like to live, and then he expressed he would like to live with a family member, that's when he got that up in control.
Well, like I said,
and that's when he got released from prison, and then you came in and Talib said he wanted to live with you.
Well, doctor, like I said, I don't need to convolute the conversation. I mean, I disagree.
If you didn't think he had capacity, you wouldn't have let him go and live with you.
But
Does that make sense?
But no, I have a disagreement with you when you said just right now that you said that it fluctuates and it's. I don't think that's how mental capacity works.
It does.
I choose to disagree with you. Now let's agree to disagree on this because fluctuate. Because why does it fluctuate? What are the conditions of it? What are the
under influence. So if you were not there in the say, he was able to make decisions that yes, he wants to live with a family member and that was the best one. When he came in the say, he said he wanted to live with you.
Doctor, irrespective.
Everything else what he said.
Let's just focus not on the particulars, but on the general principle that his capacity does your capacity ever, mental capacity ever fluctuate?
Absolutely.
Well, I'm sorry, but okay. Well, I think you and I were on a different page then, because I'm referring particularly to the Mental Health Act. When you become inebriated, excuse me, doctor, when you become inebriated through alcohol consumption, you do not automatically then fall into the Mental Health Act, do you? That's what I'm more focusing on. Well, when the health.
I think it's not the place to discuss that.
Well, okay, doctor. Well, just to round up, you, doctor, have discharged Talib in July 2017. I have to assume the fact that Talib had you made an assessment that Talib had mental capacity then. Okay, I know the fact that, and this is one of the reasons that I wanted to have Nadia Khan involved, is because and I think we discussed this before, in 2014, in March 2014, there was a capacity assessment carried out while Talib was in hospital, while I had told the professionals, which was Sanjeev Singh, Nadia Khan and Dr. Shaukat Ali, that if he returns into Makkah, I'm going to murder him. And it was clearly identified at that stage that Talib had mental capacity. It's very important for me to answer this question. I disagree with yourself, and I will look to challenge the fact that your interpretation of Talib's mental capacity fluctuates on a day-to-day basis. I believe mental capacity is much more differently defined, but we can just move forward from this. Okay.
I know last time you questioned about how because you're providing support training and obviously providing it from your own monies, aren't you? In terms of his finances, I've contacted receivership departments and they're not at the moment, they're in the process of arranging to take over apprenticeship for Talib.
Who is?
At the moment, Adalet still has responsibility of his money.
Okay, well, the reality is that, I mean, irrespective, I do not, this is one of the reasons.
And in terms of the monies we will get some money toward you for Talib.
Well, we need that urgently, you understand?
We can arrange that tomorrow.
Okay, well, that's fair enough, thank you for that. Now, coming back to this point, I mean, this is one of the reasons that I need to establish the mental capacity question, because obviously the receivership aspect has come in place because somebody has wrongfully made the assessment that Talib lacks mental capacity, all right? And so that needs to be challenged, because Talib does not lack mental capacity in order for the receivership to be instigated. So this is a very complicated area.
Again, Shazad, this all around the receivership has been pending prior to us getting involved.
Yes.
So
but it is.
We're just following up.
I know. Sorry, Bali, but somebody who has been involved is once again your senior manager, Nadia. all right, and this has been orchestrated by the actions of the local authority. So therefore, I mean, first of all, thank you for the fact that, you know, obviously Talib will have access to some of his money, because as you can appreciate, one of the reasons that I have gone to prison, all right, primarily is that what has been identified by the local authority is that Talib as an individual has rights to have unfettered access to his money, all right, and so therefore he's now in a position where he's not having access to his unfettered access to his money. So it's kind of convoluted in that sense.
I think the issue is that it's been delayed. It's not that he's not having access to it.
Well, I could argue the same thing. I make the argument today, as it stands, he does not have access to his money.
Okay,
Yeah, the reality is he's not getting it.
Yes.
But Shiva, do you understand that given that you've been convicted?
I'm sorry, but let me clarify why I've been convicted. I've not. No. Let me just 1 second, because obviously this is a very important point. Because I've not been convicted by any complaint raised by any by Talib or my mother. Just 1 second, please. And I've not been convicted by the police or the Crown Prosecution Service. I have, in essence, been convicted by yourselves. Okay, I'm the victim of the City Mental Health Team, and City Mental Health Team is in collaboration with the Bradford District Care Trust and the local authority. So you yourselves have decided to convict me of failure to meet Talib's support needs. So I take issue with the fact that, you know, my conviction is now being leveraged as a stumbling block, because ultimately I also have an agenda. Because I have obviously wrote to the local authority. My conviction was a precedence. Okay, the local authority has never ever convicted anybody before. It's unheard of. The people that convict is the police or the Crown Prosecution Service. So just to put that on a side note, yes, it's something that I'm very open and transparent about. But the reality is, as it stands today, what I have been convicted of, all right, is exactly what you, the trust and the local authority, are doing, not giving Talib unfettered access to his own money. And what's happening is that there's been a stumbling block. Sorry for Fungai to have gone on a bit, please.
No, I was just going to say, given that that has happened,
Yes.
we've had to find someone else to manage his finances.
But why can't he manage his own finances?
He was deemed not capable of doing so.
I'm sorry, but
The council decided.
yeah, the council themselves decided. Yes. Yes, I think we are.
If we can arrange.
Yeah. I think that's moving forward. Yeah.
Because we really want to see how we can move forward.
Yeah.
You know, within this arena.
Like I said, these are discussions that ideally I should be having with Nadia, not with yourself. And it's not something that I don't want to take too much of your time up. Yes, I mean with regards to today.
And we will feed that back to
Marcina. Well, like I said, I'm not.
Who will feed it back to Nadia?
Well, like I said, I'm quite happy. I mean, even speaking with Nadia, I mean, at this stage, I think I need to speak to the city solicitors and the chief executive. I mean, that's who I'm actively trying to engage with, because this is a very unprecedented. You know, I hope you all accept that this is a very unprecedented circumstance. It's a highly unprecedented, and I think this is one of the reasons that I raised this with Mr. Fungai and Bal, is that, you know, let's be open and honest about this. It's not a normal occurrence, okay? Because ultimately.
Well, I wanted to ask I know this obviously didn't happen. When was the court decision? Which year did it happen? Because
what decision?
You know, when you were convicted and the court decided that he cannot manage his finances.
Well, see, let me clarify what's happened, okay? Because this is all about. This is basically been instigated by Mark Truin and Nadia Khan initially, because of a failure to audit direct payments. So you know about direct payments, okay? So this is the situation. So I was convicted in January 2016, all right, for 5 counts of fraud against my various family members. But then obviously subsequently the judge has decided, because my understanding is the judge has been privately commissioned to have me convicted, but in January last year it was decided unilaterally that Talib should have a receivership. Now I take issue with this.
This was January 2018 that it was decided?
No, it was decided in December 2017 without Talib's awareness or Talib's representation that Talib should have a public receivership, okay? But that's not a decision that the judge should make, having never met Talib. So that's something I would have liked to have challenged. No, well, I didn't have the opportunity to appeal, but subsequently what's happened is that then it's because the judge has made a decision unilaterally, everybody else is kind of come on board online, all right, and try to get Talib onto receivership.
It's been more than a year now since the decision. It's still pending. No, that's what I'm going to ask. I was going to ask the council that it's still pending, isn't it? As far as I know, this is why we're having to, this is why when we say to you, this is all pre our involvement, and we're kind of like chasing up, following up, trying to piece the picture of where we're at.
But Val, with all due respect, I mean, this is I accept what you're saying, but this has been orchestrated and designed. Okay, I don't hold any begrudge against yourself or anybody else, because I know this is how the local authority works. They put somebody new on board. Why? I have a long-standing relationship with Nadia Khan. Okay, I have a long-standing relationship with Mark Truin. All right, I mean, like I've said, you know, Deepak Patel has been involved in Talib's care since for the last 15 years. All right, you know Deepak Patel, Sanjeev Singh. Okay, he's not, all right. I appreciate that he's ill and yourself have come on board, but I have a long-standing relationship with these people, and for them to then utilize the fact that, you know, the bureaucratic process of saying, well, somebody's on holiday, somebody's been seconded, somebody's on leave, and put somebody new in place, it puts yourself at a disadvantage.
I'm just a bit looking at Talib, and
I think he's getting ahead of it.
he's getting a bit, he's coming across as he's feeling a bit fed up. I don't
Yeah,
know,
he is.
might be listening
Well,
to all this,
well, Talib,
you need to take-
I mean, you can quite happily engage Talib, but Talib, as you can see, doesn't want to be here. He feels very apprehensive of being here, and obviously he has expressed that he would like me to represent him.
Yeah, we don't want to keep him here any longer than he needs
Okay,
to.
all right.
There's obviously some stuff that we
Yeah.
need to do, which we want
Okay.
to discuss.
I think we've just covered everything.
Yeah, I think they've covered it.
Yes.
The continental flats,
Yes.
I spoke with them. They're saying that, because you had requested pull-ups, they said that they've changed the order sometime in November. I
Yes,
don't know
that's right,
whether there was some communication, but they say that you just need to ring a number to activate that order, and they'll give you.
Yes, but the thing is that he doesn't require pull-up pads now.
So would it be easier if we got you a mixture?
Yes, that's right. Yes,
So
I mean,
half and
yeah,
half.
yeah.
So then
Yeah.
obviously
Yeah.
whichever is needed at the time, you've got access to both.
Basically, he needs. Let's just, for argument's sake, he needs 2 pads a day. One for daytime, one for nighttime, and the nighttime needs to be the clip-on ones. Ideally,
So
if
it makes sense to have a set of both.
I mean, I know the individual. If you can just ask him to come and give me a call and arrange a meeting with
I'll
me.
give you the number.
Yeah,
and you
okay,
can just
all
ring
right.
him and speak with them.
Okay, all right, that's
Is that
fine.
all right?
Okay, all right, that's fine. So that's with the incontinence issue. I mean, with regards to, we're not going to be discharging Talib today, okay? We would like to come back next week.
That would be great.
Yeah,
That's
we would
what
like,
we suggest.
because obviously last week I thought it was inappropriate to leave it for 2 weeks. I did try to come last week, but obviously you were busy, yeah? We would like an extension of home leave for a period of 2 weeks, but we would like to return on a weekly basis.
Yeah, I'll give it for a week. Come back next week and I can extend again next week.
All right, you want to do it on a weekly basis? Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's fine.
One more question before you go. You know, when the council made a decision about all these appointed shifts and everything, did they make any decision or put any condition on you that you can take care of Talib? Or you can
No, there's been no condition. This is all back to front. I mean, ideally,
I just wanted to ask from you.
yeah, because obviously, look, I know what's
They're
happening.
not going to share any information with us.
Why not?
They're not. We've asked them. They're not.
Well, you ask me, I'll share information with you,
That's why
okay?
I asked you.
Because it's a back to front thing. Doctor, look, ultimately what you're being asked to do is to discharge Talib into somebody who's been effectively victimizing him and been convicted of victimizing him. That's what you're asked to do.
Yeah.
All right? And I can understand your apprehensions, and obviously you need clarity in this. Well, wait on a minute, as a professional doctor, am I putting...
Am I doing right for Talib?
Yeah.
That's the question.
And those are questions that you really need to ask, and if they're not sharing that...
We really appreciate what you're doing for Talib.
Yeah.
We really appreciate all the care you're taking.
Well, I mean, obviously, more importantly from yourself, Doctor, Talib appreciates it. Talib is giving me a lot of love and saying, look, I'm appreciative, and he's appreciative of what's happening, yes. And like I said, Doctor, this is a very complicated area, and we don't need to I don't need to take further of your time. If you don't have any other questions, we would like to leave now, yes. Is that okay?
I'm just going to give you the number and then
That's
you
okay.
Your number
Yeah.
and then arrange for some
Are we
time.
okay to come on Monday? Just
Yes,
to
yes.
round up everything in terms of these.
I thought you're coming today.
Pardon?
You don't need to come today, do you?
No.
Am I getting confused? Did you arrange today to come
We
to...
had said we'd see you.
Oh, yeah.
there.
Yes, okay, so that's okay.
We'll just
All right,
finish
that's
that.
fair enough, yes.
But on Monday we can come at 11 and then we can just.
Sorry, what time?
11.
What's good time?
An afternoon would be better for us.
Right. Right.
And I'm not available on Tuesday.
So this will be meeting next week.
No, this photo's going to come down
Alright.
and go out and see.
I mean, with no disrespect, pal, obviously, I would like to engage Nadia Khan All right.
Our purpose for coming to that would obviously to do that needs assessment.
Yeah. Okay.
In terms of discussing all the stuff that you've already mentioned, it wouldn't, like you said, and in agreement with you, it would be our seniors that we need to speak.
Okay, all right. I mean, like I said, I mean, I'm quite happy to facilitate a needs assessment because that was the first point on my agenda. Because I think at this stage, if we can have something substantial and comprehensive written down regarding his needs assessment, then at least there's some.
We want to work with you and Talib.
Okay, all right. Okay. So just finally, I just need a letter from Lorna. Lorraine.
Lorna.
Yeah, I'm just going to see if I can get it. On the work.
Excuse me. Can I take another glass of water? पापा तालब ठीक है इतना आए हैं इतनी डॉक्टर ने मीटिंग है ठीक है तो ये ना करो ऐसा फैसला किया भाई अगली वीक फिर ऐसा ना जो कोई गल पक्की नहीं हुई ठीक है तो अजय तुम डिस्चार्ज नहीं करना चाहिए जिससे सारी गल पक्की नहीं हुई नाले जो लड़की है ना बैठी हुई है वो पैसे नहीं गल की तारे पैसे तो या नहीं दे सकते ठीक है कोशिश कर सकना नहीं तो सब कुछ नहीं बहाने करने हो ठीक हो तो सब
You might need to get the leave message, isn't it?
So if you just ring that number,
yes,
we'll okay. Sort it out. Okay.
Okay, is that everything? Do you have leave?
Do you have laxatives at home?
Yes, we do have laxatives. We just will need medication. I mean, I think it takes some time to get. We would just like to leave right now, and we can always come back and collect the medication. Is that okay?
Are we okay bringing the money on Monday when we come?
Well, no. Well, we will need it ASAP. Yes.
Right, okay.
And I would just like to make you aware that Talib has not had access to his own benefit money since October 2017. Okay.
I think he had some money delivered. There was some money on the ward about £50.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, and obviously there's been like intermittent, but obviously we take issue with the fact that Adalat's been put in charge of Talib's finances. This is another issue that we will be looking to, because obviously, as you can appreciate, Talib has an antagonistic relationship with Adalat, all right? And for him to be in charge of his finances, and then for him to, what's the word, I don't know what the word terminology is, to chicken feed him pound at a time is not fair. That's his money, he's entitled to it. Yeah. I know, I'll just bring it to your attention.
We'll try and get the money to tomorrow if possible, but we'll bring to you and make sure you're around. But obviously there'll be a
Okay. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. Goodbye. Baba को जुड़े ठीक है. We'll be coming back to collect the letter. Well, I'll collect the letter.
Next week I'm coming at 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock, is that okay? Yes? Thank you. All right. Next week, inshallah, see. Hello.
Hello.
Darling. I'll be coming later on to collect his medication.
Medication, okay.
Thank you very much.
All right, I'll let you out.
Thank you.
Will you be able to just ring and make sure that it's ready before you have it? If that's okay.
Yes, no problem.
Yeah. At least that way you have
what time will it be? I mean, I was thinking coming back about 4 o'clock anyway. I'll ring before.
4, yeah. 4 should be fine.
Thank you. What was your name again?
Saru. Saru.
Saru. Thank you, Saru.
I'll just leave you out of that
Oh,
photograph.
thank you.
Right, see you, Talib.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
पापा के साथ अभी मैं जाइए गड्डी गई है ठीक है